later.
Presented by Prize Picks. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 and use the promo code. Welcome to Light Years. Andy Lou, things heating up in the Bay right now. It's been kind of a mild summer, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with me. It hasn't really been that hot of summer out here, right?
I thought you were talking about the Warriors, but yes, it is literally the coldest summer so far.
I'm drawing an analogy.
Okay, you were gonna do it. I ruined it.
Now we're finally getting, it's August, but we're getting some of that summer weather. Honestly, stuff I expected a month ago, the beginning of July, and that dovetails perfectly to the Kuminga free agency saga. Things heating up, brother. Things are heating up.
Finally. It is fascinating how we didn't hear a single rumor for weeks on end, and then all of a sudden, I don't think there's a deadline. It's August 4th today. I still don't. Doesn't seem like he's playing in the AfroBasket, so we technically still got to October, and all of a sudden, like 4 different stories come out from reputable sources, right? From people that definitely know people. TK, I know you get to a Sam MMA, TK, all these guys coming out and reporting on what the offers are, reporting on, whether signing trade talks are the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ooh, I wonder why. But we're here.
Yeah, I mean, we kept wondering, like, what is going to force action? The Warriors are, like, the most extreme example in the league, but, like, the Bulls still haven't signed Giddey. Brooklyn hasn't signed Cam Thomas, and there's other players out there who are waiting. Seems like there have been no trades. I'm wondering if that stuff's going to come. It just feels like everything got put on hold. Everyone's talking about this is going to be the greatest free agency ever, and it's been kind of non-existent. Like really non-existent. A bunch of players signed extensions right before it started, and then it's just been a weird holding patterns.
Can by the way, I really hated because I'm mad because I believed it when we were getting pitched this offseason will be crazy by Shams.
Well, dude, after the trade deadline, I was so ready to believe it because like Luka and Jimmy at the trade deadline, like I was expecting some.
We were pitched it like is Shams part of the NBA PR like stuff like what he like was telling us over. Don't sleep. I didn't sleep. I was waiting. I needed. We got what is it? I felt like we got the MLB trade deadline. Like that was what we needed, dude. Like I was up for 36 straight hours. Every pitcher got traded in baseball, and I feel like this basketball offseason has just been. I mean, this Kuminga stuff has really been kind of the.
I mean, you know what it is. It's the LeBron situation and the Giannis situation, and there was belief that those are gonna cause some seismic moves. Obviously, 2 of the biggest names in the sport. If they were really going to be traded, like that's huge. That's a Luka to the Lakers, huge, right? But to date, nothing's happened other than some cryptic LeBron posts. You see out one of him on Instagram for the Clippers facility. It's just like I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. And long story short, we're all in the chair. That's really what's going on here. We're all just sitting in the chair. But let's get to the Kuminga stuff because you referenced it earlier. I'm going to summarize it. It seems like there's 2 different perspectives right now, and I think this is somewhat interesting. If you've been following along, and I know everyone listening has, it seems like the Kings and Suns are the only ones who've presented offers, and really the Kings are the only ones who've presented a semi-decent offer. The Suns' offer is pretty terrible right now. And Sam Amick is saying, Malik Monk and a protected 2030 first-round pick, so like lottery protected, which we'll never convey because the Kings will never get out of the lottery. But he said that apparently they never discussed Keegan or Keon Ellis, which kind of disappointing to me, but also not surprised. I wouldn't expect that. it was kind of alluded to that, if they lower the protections, the Warriors want no protections on that pick. They want like a clean first-round pick, and they'll take Malik Monk potentially. That's the way Sam Amick is understanding it. Then you got our guy TK out here, and this has been consistent with a lot of Warriors people just saying they don't like anything being offered to him. They're just going to re-sign him. They're going to re-sign him. They got a 2-year, $45 million offer to him. 2nd year, non-guaranteed. Want him to waive a no-trade clause. Honestly, they're trying to put him in the chair.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, just do this. We'll trade you mid-season. You have no say. I'm not shocked he's not accepting it. Alan, which of those two do you find more believable?
The first one, without a doubt, the first one. I'm not even going to hesitate. Without a doubt, the first one, I believe. Because if you look at the second scenario, and TK mentions, hey, this could just be posturing, but just take what you said at face value. That offer is ridiculous. Not ridiculous because it's not market value, but that's not an offer you offer someone that you want to be part of the team. And I just think when you go through everyone listening definitely has gone through negotiations of some sort. To present an offer like that is such a slap in the face. We're looking at Micah Parsons, for example, right? And seeing what happened with the NFL's version of Joe Lacob, Jerry Jones over there. And the way that they fucked those negotiations up.
Senile, man. He's getting senile.
I'm not saying that about Joe, but it's like the one of the reasons why Micah Parsons saying hey, trade me, is because the negotiations went so poorly where they felt like they just not comparing Kuminga to Micah Parsons, definitely not. Micah Parsons is one of the best in biz. But I just think when you offer something like that, Sam, that's just, you really going to offer him a 1-year deal with a 2nd-year team option? You just don't offer someone that type of contract while also saying, hey, we see you as the future. And I just think it doesn't make sense for them to continue going down that path, which is why at some point the Kings are going to say, just take the pick, top 5 protected, and then the Warriors will just keep it moving at some point.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about it, but there is some validity to what you're saying. If the Warriors wanted to keep Kuminga, they'd probably make a more attractive offer to him. They kind of want what's the expression, the cake and eat it too, or whatever. They want to keep him, but they want to keep him on a deal that's so team friendly they could trade him as soon as they want to. And his camp is rightfully being well, if you just want to trade me, take what Sacramento's offering.
Yep.
Because I'll go there. They're not even offering him more money per year, but they're giving him 3 years. They are showing a commitment. They're saying, hey, we want you to start. I want to do this stuff. We love dudes who shoot and don't play defense. You're going to fit right in, bro. We can
by the way,
150.
3 and 63, right, is what the Kings offered Kuminga. They're willing to
sure.
pay him.
And who knows? Maybe it's 370. It sounds like it's low 20s, right? Something like that, right?
It's not like they're offering him $30 million. It's not even crazy.
It's the same AAV that the Warriors are offering, just with more security and more years, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No, I mean it doesn't. To be honest, it doesn't even sound like money is the biggest motivator for Kuminga here. I think it sounds like he just wants a fresh start. I get it,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They should have. I mean, honestly, the Warriors should have moved him a year and a half ago. We all know this. 2 years ago, whatever. It was never going to work, but whatever. We're here. Let's talk about this offer, though. Okay.
Yep.
Malik Monk. All right. On the one hand, he is exactly the type of player they could use, which is just instant offense off the bench. He's not as explosive as Jordan Poole, but he's a little more consistent as a playmaker than Jordan Poole was. But he could fill that same type of role. Steph takes a game off here or there, or someone doesn't have it. He can get 30, could play him at points. You could do a bunch of stuff like that. On the other hand, with him, it's the contract that's considered a negative at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him a pre-CBA contract. It's not as bad as the Jordan Poole contract, but it's he's getting essentially 20 a year for the next 3 years. It's 19 next year, then 20, then 21. So we'll call it, 3 years, almost $60 million owed to him. And it doesn't sound like the Warriors want to take that because they want optionality. Because did you hear Giannis is unsure about his future? Did you hear? Can't take a bad contract. Need good contracts for optionality, buddy.
Okay. All right. I was gonna try to be silent as long as possible without losing my mind. I'm going to go backwards and not talk about Giannis yet. I think Malik Monk would be a great fit on this team. You have a lot of Kings fans. I have some Kings fans, friends. And I think Malik Monk looks a lot better against the Warriors than he does against other teams. I think that's clear because Malik Monk feels like he kills the Warriors.
He's had 2 game winners off the top of my head against the Warriors.
It just doesn't make any sense the way he plays. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I did hear they were telling me like, hey, he did struggle shooting the ball last year. He is very bad defensively. But I think I've brought this up multiple times. We have all brought this up multiple times. They just need somebody that can score. And they need him to score in the regular season so that they can get through a regular season without Steph dying on the court. It's just that simple. Now the question becomes, and I think this part in Sam Amick's report, he made sure to point out that if the Warriors are going to make a sign-in trade, they get hard capped right at the first apron, which means that they're going to have to move a contract, which is probably going to be Buddy Hield or Moses Moody. So now you're talking about trading away Kuminga and like Moses Moody for Malik Monk. And people are like, whoa, you can't do that. And I like, what do you think? Like, I do kind of get that part. I do kind of get that.
So that's actually my only issue with this move, because I think if you get the protections lowered, you're not going to get it fully unprotected. Yeah. But let's say you get let's say it's top 5. So if it's like the 9th pick, you get it, right? Let's say it's top 7, something like that. I think that's attractive. I think they just didn't want something that's like top 15 protected, because like the pick's 18th or 19th, it's like, all right, who really cares at this point, you know? Like that sort of thing. I think they're hoping for a shot at something that like, oh, this could potentially be like the 7th pick overall, so we can get the next Kuminga, you know, something like that, right? I mean, because that's what they did with the D'Lo Wiggins thing. You know, the Wiggins, the pick they got from Minnesota was lightly protected. It was protected. There was a chance. Top three. Yeah. So Minnesota, like, hey, if they won the lottery, the Warriors would have been shit out of luck. But you know, they got the 7th overall pick. It's a good pick. You know, I'm sure if they end up with a Kings pick, if they could get a top 3 to 5 protection on it, I think they take it, right? I actually think the reason I don't do it is the Malik Monk contract. And my issue here is, look, I don't care how much he makes. I don't care how much anyone makes. I only care about like, what does it do for the Warriors' ability to complete the roster? And to me, I have a player like Malik Monk as my 3rd most important thing for them to sign, and so for me, I think it's more important that they get 2, 3, and D guys, one who's like a 4 or 5 in the Warriors system, kind of like what Otto Porter and Harrison Barnes were, and then a 3 and D point of attack defender, kind of like what they were hoping D'Anthony Melton would be pre-injury. Kind of like, by the way,
they got 2 of those. They already got those 2 guys, by the way. Al Horford and D'Anthony Melton. They're signed, by the way. Did you hear? Those guys are signed. Just you know, they got them.
Well, I was hoping to get a couple more. One who is not 39 and one who is not off of the ACL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, I view guys like Malik Monk as a nice to have. And I'm sure in January, if I'm watching a team that has no ability to score without Steph, I'm going to have my patience very tested. And I'm going to probably come back to this. You're probably going to say in my face, you'll be like, you sure you didn't want Malik Monk that bad? You sure? You know, like, I'm sure that's how it's going to come across. But I'm still viewing this through the lens of, I watched him in the playoffs. And to me, the reason they did not go farther was injuries. But why did Steph get hurt?
Well, Steph got hurt because he had to shoot the ball a million times and play really hard because they didn't have enough scoring next to him.
I got a secondary theory.
I know. I said that because I disagree with you. So yeah,
they were up 3-1.
Yeah,
they couldn't close. They couldn't close because their 4th best player was Brandon Pajemski. And I like Pods,
he was hurt.
He was hurt. All I'm saying is they take care of the Rockets in 5 games if they have a let's say Pods year 6 and another front court player, and it's not just Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond trying to will a team like maybe the Warriors could have done when those guys were in their late 20s, right? So to me, I actually I just want them to lean into playoff players more than regular season players. That's the way I look at it. I'm willing to deal with them having disgusting months in the regular season if I feel like I see 7 dogs I can trust in the playoffs.
They're not going to get to the postseason. They're not going to.
I disagree with you. That's how I feel. That's how they'll play half a season like they always do. They'll go on a 25-5 run, and then they'll be 500 the rest of the year. That's what I want. I mean, to be honest with you, I want both. But if you're asking me to choose between one or the other, I'm going with the playoff guys because I don't think they will win in the playoffs if they don't get. This sounds insane. They don't get a Keon Ellis. He's not the be all end all, but like, you know what I mean? If they don't get a couple of those 3-and-D guys, kind of like what the Thunder just surrounded their core guys with. Like the Thunder really just had a bunch of goons who could defend their asses
but
off.
The Thunder are 24 years old. Like it doesn't work. It just doesn't work like that for the Warriors anymore, which is why I can't believe I'm gung-ho about Malik Monk, because for those have listened to me for through all these years, like I've never been I don't like watching players like Malik Monk or like Jordan Poole when he was coming up. Like I don't like empty volume shot. It's just not my type of guys. But as I get older and I'm watching this team get older, Steph played 70 games last season and he barely made it. Like I think he's probably going to play 60 this season. And so they're going to have a worse record if they don't have another score. 148, if he misses 15 more games, do they win 39? And then now we're talking about they're not even in the postseason. They're in the play-in game again. Like I can absolutely see that. Does Malik Monk solve all that? No. Like he's not a 5-game win difference for this team. But I do think like if you're sitting there saying like, hey man, like we can't get rid of Moses Moody. It's like, hey, Moses Moody, I like him, but you can just go sign Amir Coffey, and he's probably just as good as Moses Moody for the length of regular season. You can't just go out there and sign a Malik Monk right now. There are no, as much as that contract is bad, and it is, you can't just sign a Malik Monk. You can just go get something akin to him, at least like 80% of a Moses Moody somewhere, or like, I guess like Buddy Hield.
You don't think this team can win games with Pods and Buddy?
I don't really want to find out. I would prefer to have a guy that can actually score 25 points a game instead of like, because Buddy Hield, like he had a great game 7, but like we watched the season, man. Like there would be months where he could make a shot.
He's getting a statue for that game 7.
Like he's months, and I think Monk's probably the same, right? Like as Buddy, where it's like
he could just do it off the
stupid
bounce.
Shit.
So
yeah, exactly. But like he's not gonna play no defense. He's gonna shoot really poorly a lot. He's gonna be streaky, like Buddy is. But like this team has such a good defensive infrastructure that I'm just like, if we want to get through a regular season, like they've got Draymond, they've got Jimmy, they've got Al Horford, they've got guys that can play such good defense on this team, man. And like they just need scoring. They really do. They'll get another big. They got D'Anthony Mount. They got all these guys that Pods can defend. All these guys that can defend. I don't want to watch Steph have to score 34 points to beat the freaking like Indiana Pacers, because the Pacers are gonna, the Pacers are not gonna be good because Halliburton's out.
By the way, the Warriors have never beat the Warriors have never beat the Pacers at Chase Center.
It's
why? I don't know, but that's the only team that's like
they don't have Malik Monk.
At the Chase Center.
They don't have Malik Monk, man.
To be honest, every one of those Pacer L's is kind of a classic. Warriors look tired, and Nemhart goes fucking nuts on them or something. So it is kind of funny. I don't know. I think I hear you. It's still a nice to have for me. I genuinely think if they just keep adding good players who fit into a playoff scenario, they will have enough for nights Steph sits. They will have enough. Okay, let me put it this way. If they got Keon Ellis, okay, and I'm fixated on him, even though there's zero chance they're getting him, apparently.
Which is
the 3-and-D wing, 40% 3-point shooter. You're telling me, I don't put it this way. You're telling me they can't beat a team on a random night with Jimmy, Buddy Hield, Pods starting with like Horford and another wing.
I think that team could lose to anybody on a random night. Like I genuinely like if they go in Atlanta with that team, like I can see them losing by 15 points. Like it just would not surprise me. Because Jimmy's also not playing hard. Like he's also playing at 60% in that game. Like he's not doing playoff Jimmy shit. Like he's probably he's passing the ball to Horford, who passes the ball to Pods, who passes the ball back to Horford, who runs around a screen, passes the ball to
Ellis, at some
dribble.
point you need a little more out of Jimmy.
Well,
and Steph when they get that much money all year.
But they're 37. That's the point. Like, yes, they are getting that much money, but you also can't get younger. You can't get younger.
Another way to get younger is by adding guys who can actually use their athleticism in a functional way, which is the Warriors' issue with their 2 timeline plan. Like, yeah, they got younger. They just didn't know how to play basketball. But like youth can also help you on defense. It can force it can force turnovers. It can force stuff in transition. You can get a Buddy Hield transition 3 out of it. You can get layups out of it. So I don't know. I hate the idea of getting hard capped with Malik Monk's huge contract and having an incomplete roster. That's where I'm at with this. And then the pick, I feel like we're just gonna get gaslighted to hell. Because on the one hand, a Kings draft pick that's lighter protection, that is an attractive trade chip. I understand why they want it. They want it so that they can go make the next move. But here's what's going to happen. They're going to hold on to that one for Giannis. All day for Mr. Giannis. Never use it as Steph slowly dies on the court.
So this is where I'm with you 100%. I actually think the worst part of this package is like when I saw the pick and the Warriors fight over the pick protection, I was just like, dude, oh my God, dude, I don't care, bro. I do not care. You guys get it top 5 protected. You guys get the 7th pick. You just said it, dude. What are you guys going to do? You guys going to draft into the Kuminga? I don't care. And then let's spin it the other way. You think you guys are going to have this one measly little fucking pick and you guys are going to beat out the Thunder when Giannis comes available? You think you guys are going to beat out the Spurs? Spurs just drop in Dylan Harper. It's better than anything you've got, dude. Like, fuck off.
And 20 picks.
Exactly. 20 picks. Yeah. Sixers, drop in Jarrett McCain or whatever. Like, what are we doing here? A complete waste of time. It's actually slap in the face to the fans that we have to hear this shit. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. It's completely unacceptable. I don't know why we have to hear this shit. You guys aren't getting Giannis. You guys don't have the picks to get Giannis. You guys don't have the players to get Giannis. You guys don't have the creativity to get Giannis. You guys aren't smart enough to get Giannis. It isn't 2016, buddies. Like, just go build your team, dude. Stop worrying about that type of stuff. That's not you guys anymore. You guys already made that move. You got Jimmy Butler, and go like you said, go find some winning players, dude. Stop trying to. I don't know. Like,
it's frustrating because it's frustrating because obviously I would love Giannis on the Warriors. Like I don't need to sell you on it'd be really cool to see him play with Steph. And that they like each other and they're friendly and they both understand how cool it would be. But it's just to your point, you're not the 2016 Warriors. You don't have Bob Myers, Jerry West, Travis Schlenk, the best front office with a young core with all your future picks. You're not that organization. And this whole wanting to be the smartest guy in the room at all. And this is actually the part that annoys me the most, because I would not care if they acquired a pick, except for the fact I don't trust them with it. I don't trust them to be able to recognize that, oh shit, if we throw in 2 or 3 picks right now, we could get Trey Murphy. They're not going to do that. They're going to just be like, oh, bingo. Well, there's too many. Our spreadsheet says we can't give up the Kings pick. Kings pick could be even better than Trey Murphy. We're only giving up the Kings pick. We're only giving up the Kings pick if we get Giannis.
That's the one. They wouldn't use the picks to get a player like Trey Murphy because Trey Murphy is quote unquote just a 3-and-D guy, right? Look at what the Denver Nuggets did. It might be stupid. They gave away a 2030 pick for Cam Johnson.
Did you hear?
Like it?
No. That's not what I'm saying. Did you hear that this came out? The Warriors thought the price was too high.
I didn't
for
see
Cam
this.
Johnson. It made me want to throw my phone through the window. You see that window behind me? They gave up Michael Porter Jr.'s contract. He makes twice. It's a bad contract. Good player, but bad contract. He's not. I'm not even sure he's better than Cam Johnson, to be honest. But he makes twice as much as him. So they're probably about the same, player wise. I can understand. But my point is, Cam making 20 and MPJ making 38. Obviously, one of those is a more attractive trade chip. Newsflash, the one that makes less. And they gave up a 2032 first round pick, just one pick when Jokic will be 36 or 37. So like you're betting if you're the Nets, you're like, that's a lot of time. Jokic might retire, might be washed. He might look like a fucking offensive lineman. He might be super obese by then. Who knows, right? Like something like that, right? Like I understand, but that's it. It was just a gamble of one pick. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, I 100% agree. That's the worst part of this. Is like, look, the pick is 5 years away. The pick, the team, if they're going to win a championship, is at least 10 years away. Like you're not giving the whole farm. Like AJ Preller, we talked about this. I felt like all week last week, and I was in love. And Mason Miller, that's your guy, right? He's awesome. And he trades his top prospects, like the number one prospect in baseball. Just trades him away. It's like whatever, don't care. Kid's probably not going to be in the majors for another 3+ years. He's probably not going to be in a winning major league at least a couple more years. So it's like whatever. You can argue it's crazy, right? But at least he's trying to win. He has a good team in San Diego. Just put some more players around and trying to win. It's the same thing with the Nuggets. That's why I loved it. You got Jokic right now in your prime. Steph's not in his prime, but Steph and Jimmy, you're paying $120-$130 million for. Why the hell are you paying them so much money if you're not trying to win? Like, who cares about it?
You're not developing. It's not like you're developing players either, So what are we doing here? What I was going to say is I want to talk about the Preller thing real quick.
All right.
Preller is actually an amazing example of what the Warriors lack, which is for all this bravado about how smart they are, they don't believe in themselves at all. You want to know why Preller was so comfortable trading some 18-year-old who's currently the third best prospect in baseball? Because he had the previous best prospect in baseball. And he has proven over and over again his scouts will find the next top prospect within 12 months. He's sold his farm 3 times in the last 5 years. And every time everyone's like, they have nothing. And 12 months later, wow, AJ found some kid in Venezuela who might be the next big thing. So he made a swing on a pitcher he believes is going to be a stud. And he's like, you know what? I know the guy we gave up is going to be good, but I can find another one. Whereas the Warriors are so scared to make a move because they have no faith that they know how to draft. They have no faith that they know how to develop anything.
That's a hell of a point. I hadn't thought about that. It's so true. And I also think like maybe it's a market efficiency too. Like the nobody in either sport wants to take risks, right? Like even OKC, who just won a championship, I feel like they didn't really take risks. They didn't put any of their picks together to get anyone. If they lost in these finals, you could probably argue that Sam Presti did not make enough of a risk to trade for more rotation players, right? And so, but they won the championship, so it's fine. But I think just a lot of these teams, they just don't take risks, and the Warriors are right at the top of it. So if the Warriors put some of those post-Steph picks on the table, like, do you think they could get Trey Murphy? If they put one of them on the table, 2 of them on the table, like, do you think they could do it? Maybe it's 4 of them. Maybe that's too much. Okay. But I don't think they even want to put one of them down. And I think that's the problem with this team.
Yeah, and if it's not Trey Murphy, it's someone of that caliber, which I think what you're really saying is someone who's objectively good, who could make an all-star team or two, but isn't a franchise guy. Like, will Trey Murphy make an all-star team? Probably. But he might not. He's a very good player, though, right? But I think we both agree it's not like he's going to turn into Shea. He's not going to be the franchise. Right. He's just a very, very good player who might, who you can win games with, right? So those type of players, the Warriors have shown an aversion. They only get those players on the cheap and pray that they turn into Otto Porter that one year. That's what they do. That's it. They're not willing to pay for those guys. They could have had Caruso. They weren't willing to pay for that, Not for our top prospect, that sort of thing, right? Like, so I don't know. But the way the summer's going, it's frustrating because I do believe that what they have with Steph and Jimmy could win a title if they're smart around it, and they're doing that thing where they want to play for a home run swing instead of just fill out the roster.
And I don't what is even the home run swing? You know what I mean? Like, what is even a home run?
Giannis.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking of like, is Kiana. See, this is how out of Giannis I am, where I thought when you said home run swing, I thought you meant Keon Ellis. Because like the Giannis stuff it honestly just pisses me off at this point. It's just completely ridiculous for an organization.
We were prodding about Giannis to the Warriors before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Think about that, dude. We had an entire global pandemic. Neither of us had kids.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a completely different person when the Giannis stuff started, you know?
They got to put our faces.
How many jobs have you changed?
Like how much weight did I gain in my cheeks in the last like 5 years since we had those?
How many different jobs have you had since the first Giannis pod?
I got no comment. I got no comment, dude. How many, like, you know what I mean? How much white hair do I have? God damn.
Was DFS mobile DFS, was it even a thing when the Giannis rumor started? No, it was not, guys. Prize Picks is the best way to get in on the action this summer. Guys, I know basketball season's over, but as you can tell, Andy and I are big baseball guys. Some say the two greatest minds in content with regards to the MLB. Yeah, I didn't say that. That's just what other people are saying, guys. Step up to the plate with Prize Picks and add your favorite baseball players to your lineup, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs. Make your call more or less on plays for your shot to win 2,000x your cash. My adopted Padres, by the way, I'm going to San Diego next weekend. I'm going to have to bring my microphone because if the Kuminga thing goes down, there's no way in hell I'm not potting. I don't want to do it when I'm in San Diego, but I have to be prepared for it. But going down there, going to check my pods in person, among other things, hang out with friends. And they're kind of hot right now. So I've been playing the more with Machado, the more with Tatis, and I've been coming in big the last week. Been good time over at the house for me right now, guys. Prize Picks is the best way to get in real money this summer. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports takes into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Guys, download the app today. Use the code LIGHTYEARS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5. That's LIGHTYEARS, $50 instantly after you play first $5. Prize Picks, run your game.
New sponsor from our guys at Square. Today's episode brought to you by Square. Smart, streamlined tools to make running your business simple, because the right tools make all the difference. For a limited time, our listeners can get up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/lightyears. Visit today, discover how Square can transform your business. Look, I every Saturday, every Sunday, I go for a walk downtown Burlingame, get some coffee, Starbucks, Pete's, Phil's, your local shop, whatever it is. They use Square, and they make it an easy process to pay and get my drink without any extra steps. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, Square's customizable plans let you add what you need as your business evolves, like loyalty programs or payroll. You can track your payments, track sales, handle inventory, manage staff, send invoices, keep up with all your finances, all from one streamlined system. With built-in features like reporting, invoicing, and inventory management, Square gives you everything you need to expand your business. Square keeps up so you don't have to slow down. Get everything you need to run and grow your business without any long-term commitments. And why wait? Right now, you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/lightyears. That's SQUARE.com/GO/lightyears. Run your business smarter with Square.
So I'm actually stealing this idea from my guy Kirk over at Pod Maverick. He covers the Dallas Mavericks. But he's been doing a random Maverick of the day on the pods. I'm like, that's a great idea for offseason content. So we're going to do random Warriors player of the day. It's kind of a fun idea.
Who we got?
I didn't know where to start, so I want to start with, for some reason, this guy was on my mind. Maybe you can guess why he's on my mind. I want to start with the one and only Monta Ellis. Have it all, buddy.
Mississippi Missile.
Mississippi Bullet. Yeah. Oh. By the way, do you realize he hasn't turned 40 yet? Kind of wild.
Wait, really?
He'll turn 40 this year, but technically he's 39. Yeah, I mean, it's like sometimes it's easy to forget because, like, to me, there was two Montes. There was We Believe Monte, then there was I Want to Be the Man Monte, and it's easy to forget how young he was on the Warriors when he was good. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about, he was only 21 on We Believe.
Wow. Well, he was drafted out of high school. That's why. Yeah. Second round out of high school. Yeah. And
it was good. Like, I'm just going to pull up the numbers right now. I mean, I had to refresh it. Like, a lot of it, you go off memory and then you somewhat forget some of the numbers. Second year in the league is when We Believe happened. So he was a second year player. This is kind of some of the stuff I often thought about the 2 timeline plan, by the way, where people are like, oh, they're only 21. It's like, Monte won most improved player at 21. He was averaging nearly 17 points per game. He was a huge part of We Believe that year, putting up good numbers. I mean, he just so electric getting to the. He could clearly play from day one. Like, it was like, now the question was, is he going to be more than just kind of a scorer? And probably not. Probably didn't. But like, it was very clear he could play in the NBA from day one.
Well, I remember him being one of the quickest players I'd ever seen. Like, he just moved so much faster than everyone else, which is why the Mississippi Missile was such a cool nickname. But I just remember him super athletic, super quick, had a really good handle. And he couldn't really shoot.
And body control, dude. Like, he's not Kyrie, not Kyrie in terms of like the flashiness, but like, I mean, little guys like him finishing inside, like, you don't see many guys who can
you imagine Monte like off the bench for the Warriors today, right? Like, any version of Monte off the bench for the Warriors today is a perfect fit, because just go out there and just do one thing. Like, Steve Kerr would love that type of player off the bench. Like, just go out there and just go get 18 points in like 22 minutes, and he can get that. He was, I think, one of the more underrated players in the league, just because like he was actually an efficient scorer, but he was just on a really bad team. But it was one of those things, man, like for us Warriors fans playing on teams that were really bad after that We Believe team, like, he was our guy. Like, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, this is it, man. Like, he was our all-star, quote unquote. Like, we would always talk about Monta Ellis being like an quote unquote all-star snub, right? Because it's like, because nobody cares about him because the team sucks, but we know he was really good. He thought he was really
good. And that's the other thing. Like, I just think about this in context of all the dumb arguments about Warriors young players we have today. He was able to contribute on a playoff team when in his second year. He was able to contribute in his second and third year in a role. And then when the team fell apart, he was able to take a bigger role. There was no like, oh, he can't play in this system. Yeah, he can play in any system because he's a good player. He knows how to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, my favorite Monte was year 3. The We Believe one. He was playing off ball. He was cutting like a psychopath because Baron Davis Baron's like a point guard, like, it's a great ball handler, setting him up, doing everything there. And Monte was so, to your point, so efficient. You're 53% from the field as a small guard. Like, how many small guards shoot over 50% from the field? He was just such a dynamic cutter and finisher on that team. And then, Baron leaves. His role changes, and then he got to play kind of where everything revolved around him in pick and roll for a while.
Yeah, and that became,
But my point is, like, it wasn't an issue fitting him around Baron and Steven Jackson, these guys who, he wasn't going to be the man. He was going to have to play off of them. He excelled in that role. I still think that was his best role.
He almost averaged 26 points a game. I'm looking at this. That's crazy. I mean, I remember a quote of him saying, like, and man, like, and this is kind of crazy how much was for a guy that was so confident in himself. Even he would say, like, "Hey, Kobe's the best in the world," right? This is how, that's how much players love Kobe. And then he's like, "Well, then there'd be me, and then there'd be LeBron." Right? And Monte would just, that's how confident he would be in himself. His career on the Warriors, it felt like it was as fast as he was. His career felt like it was really fast. Sam, I kind of don't remember that Monte was gone and only played 6 seasons with the Warriors. Like that kind of blows my mind. I know,
it did feel long. It did feel longer. Yeah,
I thought it was longer. It felt like a decade. But look at these numbers. Look who he's next to. Danny Granger.
Yeah.
Danny Granger was underrated. It's a good player.
Probably his best individual year was 2009-10. That was his highest scoring year, 6th leading scorer in the NBA. I mean, every player above him: Durant, okay; LeBron, okay; Carmelo, okay; Kobe, okay; D-Wade, okay; then Monta, number 6, right there. Like, say what you want, not a great team. He had to take a ton of shots. It is what it is, but like, you still have to be pretty talented to throw up 25.5 points a game. I mean, he averaged 25 and 5. So, yeah, I mean, he was the quick thing. Works in two ways for him, right? Like, it felt like he's one of the quickest players I've ever seen, period, right? Like, that goes without saying. But also his Warriors career was so quick. Like, he went from being like the young guy where it's like, oh my God, where did he come from on We Believe, to next thing you know, all of We Believe's gone and he's the man and he has to be the man. And then next thing you know, he's gone again, So it's short-lived, lightning in a bottle player.
Pun intended. I do remember, I was looking at some stuff up yesterday. I mean, it kind of blows my mind now, but remember the moped incident? That one kind of, I wouldn't say it ended his career on the Warriors, but I think that was
things.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Bumgarner, when Bumgarner like tore his shoulder or something, and like driving a truck or something crazy. Yeah, it's just insane stuff. But
fun Bumgarner fact: he was never able to get the same spin on the ball after he did that. Shocker. Kind of made him a worse pitcher.
I mean, wow, I didn't know that actually. And I'm the Giants fan on this part. Look, he still averaged a bunch of points after. I will say, like this is not a memory of Monta for me, because I think he's had a lot of high scoring games. I was looking up like some of his great quotes, which were great, but I do think one of the crazy memory after all the highs of him on this team averaging all these points is that it wasn't a popular decision for them to trade Monta for an injured center. It was not a popular decision. I don't think fans were that happy. I personally,
Joe Lacob got booed off the floor at Oracle.
I think that's, I'm thinking about Joe Lacob today as I'm tweeting stuff, and I'm just thinking like, man, like that. I think I was over the Monta and Steph stuff because they played together for a few years, and you can kind of see like Monta didn't really want to give the team over to Steph. And I think the Warriors kind of were like, hey, like let's just pick one of these guys and let's just move forward. They traded him for Andrew Bogut, who like broke his elbow. Like, it wasn't. This was
had like a series of injury. Like Bogut, my thought at the time of the trade was, okay, they needed to move him, but this is the best they could do.
Yep.
Because in my head, I just remember Bogut was that guy who every year missed half the season with an injury.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just I thought he was like kind of just like one of those injury prone guys. So
it amazes me.
I mean, kind of was.
He stayed healthy long enough, sort of. One year, 2014-15. I mean, if he was healthy 2016, I mean, I think that's one of the most underrated injuries that the Warriors had. If he was healthy 15-16.
Oh, J.R. Smith dirtily. That never gets mentioned. That was a dirty ass play by J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith took him out of that game. They were up. J.R. Smith rolled through his knee on purpose. Then Kyrie had his best game of the fucking finals. Anyway.
How do we get here? This one's my fault. I brought up the bogus stuff. Monta's career as a Warrior is, we talk about fan favorite, like role players. I guess he wasn't really a role player, only for like a year or two of his career. But if Monta Ellis came to the Warriors 7 years later, he would have been 10 years later. He would have been one of the greatest role players, I think, in this franchise.
Yeah, I mean, he was good. I feel like it's been a minute since I've thought about him up until we decided to do this segment. And it's easy to kind of like shit on him because trading him kickstarted the dynasty, but you do somewhat forget like how good he was for a period of time. So good player.
I miss Monta. I think I saw a video of him still hooping somewhere. So good for him.
His son is in high school. His son's good. So I want to say I saw something about his son with Monta Jr. He's 16. He's definitely like has a chance to go pro.
Wow.
As with apparently every player that era's son. Dude, NBA is turning into such a legacy league. It's wild.
Well, I mean, it's just I feel like at some point
it's hard to find people who have certain physical tools that are necessary to play in the NBA.
I didn't know how to say it the way like that because it does kind of feel like football is kind of different because I guess there's each team has like 50 some people, right? So I guess it's like, but still, but it's like, yeah, man, it feels like the NBA, like when we're like, do you think when we're like 45 years old, we're just going to be watching like a bunch of Steph, like Cannon Currys running around, like all these kids of these guys? Like how many of these people are going to have parents that aren't like professional players? Like it'd be a miracle if their parents were like just D1, maybe like quote unquote just D1. You know people that are like D1, they're just so much more athletic than us, right? It's like it's like those guys probably won't even have a chance. It's like, no, your parents have to be actual professional NBA.
I mean, even like Cooper Flagg's parents they were both D1 like basketball and volleyball. So like obviously like he's not coming from like a 5'7" dad and a 5'4" mom. Like, sorry, he's like 6'9" and athletic. Like his parents were probably athletes too. No, it's like Trevor Ariza's son is really good. And on the one hand, I was like, Ariza was like fine in the NBA, but on the other hand, 6'9" and coordinated. Just not a lot of 6'9" and coordinated dudes out there, you know? So if your dad, if you made it to the NBA wing size, you know, like, if your kid has passion for the game, he at least has the physical tools to play at a higher level than you or I ever did. You know what I'm saying?
Like who's the best players? I mean, I guess Shay's parents or whatever are like Olympian athletes. Steph's dad obviously won the league, but like LeBron and KD, how many LeBrons and KDs are we gonna see here in the next like 30 years? Like LeBron felt like he just came out of nowhere, right? Like KD, same thing. I don't think, as far as we know, like so. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I actually kind of I hope the Warriors end up drafting Monta Jr. That'd actually be really fun. But I think he's what did I say? 16? Let's double check. Yeah, he's 16. So
don't trade that Kings pick. Don't trade that Kings pick.
That's why I need that Kings. So I need that Kings. Shit, it might be. I mean, might be his draft. To be honest,
God,
I'm not even good on this rabbit hole.
Let's get out of here.
All right, appreciate everyone.